So let's talk about, this is part two of our virtual event webinar, Lunch and Learn for Anvil Media. And we were just getting to the good stuff about best practices for virtual events, the 3 C's of event communication. And so what this is referring to, I'm going to move this down here. Content creation is important. Create a content calendar, determine what media format you need your assets in, audio, video, or any imagery, text. You should have you may have different owners for different channels or just one owner. It's a lot of work. The collaborations, you've got your core team, your event staff, your sponsors, you've got presenters, attendees, might have other ambassadors. They're helping get things excited, key attendees that you created super fans out of. And then there's the conversation component, quizzes, polls, posing challenges, Q&A, rewarding engagement, providing attendee support. So real time, I found that 30% on average of questions from attendees are technical and not about the topic that you're talking about. So that can be an issue. So keep that in mind. And then the biggest breakdown I see in my industry with events that I participate in or experience in some fashion is that post-event elements fall apart. So we've developed a link methodology. So leverage the momentum, promote your next event at your current event, offer some sort of incentive, right? So you want to make sure that people understand, that they're incentivized, like, 50% off if you register now for next year makes total sense, right? And then there's the nurturing relationship. So collect those email addresses that are so important to nurturing relationships. Don't count on text or texting, SMS, or other things. You can drive people to a follow-up, create a group after the event on LinkedIn or Facebook, depending on your audience, consumer versus otherwise. The nurturing relationships, curating content. So compile and share the best content via groups, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Twitter, blog posts. You can basically, one thing I've done, I used to, if I didn't want to pay for an event, I would do live blogging at an event just to get a free ticket. And what I found is if I wasn't speaking at the event, it was a great way to be seen without being in front of the audience and just being more of an attendee sharing, literally rough notes or even point of view, like, this is what it is. This is why it matters. I think that's important. So that's something to keep in mind. And there's a lot of different content options. But again, blog posts are great teasers, short, sweet, to punch you to the point, teaser images, etc. And then you've got recycling event video. I'm a big tree hugger from being from the Pacific Northwest. So you take one video recording, shorter edited versions can be on other platforms like Instagram, even Pinterest has video, in LinkedIn, obviously Facebook. And then you might strip out the audio for a podcast for iTunes or Stitcher, and then strip out high def images from the video. For every platform, frankly, takes images. So there are a lot of ways to recycle that video. And then when it comes to measuring success, you obviously want to set your goals up front. What is success going to look like? Who is your target audience? What do you want them to do? In terms of hybrid events, consider which there's our two audiences, the virtual and the physical, and how your strategies might differ between the two, and your metrics, frankly. Engagement is measured across both elements very differently. You want to build community post-engagement, if not during the event, and ideally before the event. Leverage technology as an enabler, not a solution, but more of a empowerment element, an amplifier, as it were. And you can obviously assign any specific metrics to any engagement goals or other goals, and then make sure you're using the right software. And software, not for software's sake, no. Software is the end-all solution, no. It's somewhere in the middle there. So some of the most common KPIs in the business, historic registration. So what are the trends? And for fun, we had these built out of order just for fun. The registration to attendance ratio. So of all the people that registered, how many attended? Sometimes it's 50% or less. You want it to be higher. Attendee engagement metrics. So the retention rate, start and ending of the event or any given session. Are the attendees in a virtual or hybrid event attending chat rooms? Are they participating in polls? Are they clicking through on any calls to action? Are they engaging in Q&A? Are they filling in the chat room, the chat or Q&A with comments and questions? See what the surveys say. Typically post event, but I recommend even mid event check-ins. How many downloads are there of their various educational sessions? Typically, there are decks people can download, PDF, PowerPoint, etc. Social media, are they sharing, liking, and engaging on social? That's really important. But for most most businesses in the B2B space typically rely heavily on webinars and online events. So that's typically about lead quality, pipeline conversion, registrations, interactions, right? It's one and the same, but we like to visualize with stats. So key takeaways: virtual events are cost effective and they're here to stay, but plan early and often for the biggest impact and return. Guest speakers generate a much higher engagement rate typically than the everyday people that we all see together at any given time. Make sure your webinar platform is meeting all the functionality needs and hopefully is cost effective. And then test, test, test. Formats, timing, time of day, day of the week of the month of the year, different functionality and elements, different topics. Constantly be asking your audience what they want to hear more about. Remember to check on your sound and your lighting. Internet connectivity is key. Don't scrimp there. Leverage various platforms for the different features and functionality so you can maximize engagement, and promote, obviously through the digital channels, website, email, digital advertising, but there are also physical elements. And then use email throughout social media throughout the event to promote future sessions, ask questions, track hashtags, and then don't let all that data exhaust you create from the event go to waste. And for a bonus tip, maintain momentum with your follow-ups and materials. Again, that post drip, we call it the link, is really important. So here are a few links that to different resources, ours and others in the industry that might be useful to you. And we will post this recording out on YouTube shortly in 2 parts. But you can email us or shout out. Let's test our social media. Joanna can get back to you if you reach out to us on Anvil Media social feeds or through our contact form. Sign up for our newsletter, follow us on social. And if you're interested in amplifying your digital marketing, email me, Kent at Anvil Media, for a free audit. We'll take a look at your online presence, tell you what you could be doing better. Maybe we can help you. So I will say my thank yous and goodbyes. We appreciate your time. Joanna, any parting words?
Awesome. Yeah, just wanted to say thank you for having me. This was fun. This was my first webinar, and I will definitely be back for
All
more.
right. Thank you, Joanna. Thanks, everybody, for your time. And we'll see you next month. It should be July 14th. It's always typically the second Wednesday. We had a conflict yesterday, so it was a Thursday this time, but should be mid-July. It's going to be, the topic will be web dev, conversion rate optimization, and e-commerce best practices. So look for the teaser on our event section of our website. And that's under insights or about. You can find the same area of our webinar calendar and register for the next event. Thanks for your time. We'll see you next time. There you go. All right.
Awesome.
So I'll bail. I'll send you this. I'll send you a reminder when the second file is loaded. I'll try and name it so it's obviously the second file, and we'll go from there. So I guess we have to upload part 1, part 2. But it is what it is. I think you did great. You clearly prepared. Unsolicited feedback. The only thing I would say is it's not easy to do, and you did vary more than you didn't. But reading, I try not to read verbatim the slide, right? And that is actually from Jody, right? But that's I agree. That's one of my pet peeves. Is we've had people mainly not in this so much as in BP reading verbatim what it said back when we also used to be in the same room and read the same paragraph. As Jody says, we can all read. So you did do a good job of prepping some of your bullets where you still totally start. I'm like, wow, where is she? And then you totally tied it back. I was like, oh, that was nice. So, so I obviously don't prepare separate notes, whatever works for you. I just restate it. But whatever works for you. But I thought you did a great job. You were on point. You were ready. So hopefully if you had any reason to stress out, or if you felt you were stressed, you did a great job and no reason to worry.
Oh, thank you. I was a little stressed, so that sounds good.
Good. Well, I appreciate you co-presenting it. That makes it easier for next time. I think you could easily
Mm,
carry a presentation if you wanted to. I think having two presenters can keep it a little fresher. So I thought this worked pretty well. And I
yeah,
thought what you
I
tackled
agree.
versus what I tackled worked out great. So good choice on slides. Anything
Awesome. Yeah.
else you want to share? Good to go.
I don't think so. So, do you know, is Meg the one who uploads it to YouTube, or am I doing it?
She will tell you if she
Okay.
wants you to do it, and she'll guide you if that's the case.
Okay, cool.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.